What is good, you guys? We are back. We're back with the revival of the F1 2017 career mode. Now, I decided that I was going to reboot, start over with this series once again. So as you know, I did start this series back in September, but I kind of fell off it. I did, I'm not going to lie, I kind of fell off it due to again a little bit more into league racing, basically. I was more or less doing time trial runs, racing online, just to get better for the AOR league racing, which I currently compete in, which is the assist league. So yeah, I kind of fell off this series, and I uploaded 2 episodes and recorded 4. I was on the 5th one before I fell off it. Anyway, so just going through the character creation scene right now. I decided to put this in there just so I could talk through why I'm rebooting this series. Basically, it's because I want to. I didn't really want to stop with this series. I didn't want to go away or anything. But I know that through league racing and all that, it's made me a faster driver, so I've been able to step up my game a bit and take some of the assists off. Now, as you can see, I've decided to go with Renault as before, Nico Hulkenberg being my teammate. Now, the AI difficulty, I bumped that up to 100. Now, before I was on expert difficulty, I think it was like 85 maybe, something like that. So I bumped it up now to legend. So it's challenging for me now, it's more challenging for me, should be more entertaining for you. So let's go ahead and go see Emma with our contract.
Yes, and I respect that. But my client has a championship to contest. So if you want our participation, I'm afraid the concessions are mandatory. Yes, that's fine. Get back to me when you can. Goodbye. No one ever just signs the contract. Anyway, thanks for coming by on such short notice. I just needed to cover a couple of quick things with you before you race. Firstly, as requested, is a copy of your contract. It's a rolling deal. However, the team reserves right of termination if you fail to meet performance standards. You're second driver for now, but work hard, hit your targets, and I'll be able to sweeten the deal. I'm also looking to get you into some invitational events throughout the season. The experience and exposure from these will be great for your image. Plus, you'll get to drive some nice historic cars. Now then, go get ready for the next session, and good luck.
Thank you very much, Emma. So yeah, we've re-signed, right? We've gone back to Renault and I had to kick this back off again. We got a new contract now, second driver to Nico Hulkenberg, who I'm not gonna lie, I am looking forward to seeing what my pace will be like against him. His AI is usually fairly decent. Of course, we had to replace Julian Palmer. It was an absolute must. So yeah, to be honest though, I don't know how I'm gonna fare with these gearbox and power units, because now I'm using manual gears and I might wear through them a bit more than what I usually did. We got the balanced weekend tire allocation, and yeah, let's just go ahead and dive straight into practice and see what we can do. So diving into FP1, straight into the track acclimatization, getting purple straight away on the first lap, which I was quite happy with, especially on legend difficulty, the increase of the lap times now. So we go into the tyre wear test, failed the first run, didn't set a fast enough time. Second time was green, good enough, but as you can see on the third lap we set purple and it was absolutely brilliant. So we're going to go ahead and see what Chris is doing right now in R&D.
You got my message. Perfect. Welcome to home away from home. We get more real-time data from the factory now than ever before, and it all comes through here. So I have to spend more time checking over the reports and less time hunting you down in the hospitality suite. To that end... Sorry, just a sec. Yeah, Chris, is this important? I'm in the middle of something. Okay. Right. Well, that makes no sense. Have Sarah reset the simulation and run it again. Okay. Sorry about that. As I was saying, we've set up a desk for you at the front here. You can get onto the network from your laptop, so make sure to check the R&D screen regularly. And let us know how you want to use the data that we've collected over the weekend and through the practice programs. Also, bear in mind that the news from the factory won't always be good. Sometimes tests fail, like you've seen just now. And when that happens, we have to divert additional resources to fix it. C'est la vie, I'm afraid.
So there we go, right? We just met Chris in the R&D department as we get an introduction to the resource points, you know, nothing that we haven't seen before. So we have a look at the resource points we've accumulated in FP1 plus the team initial bonus, which brings us up to 2,639 points. A healthy amount to start off with, I think. So looking at the board and that, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna make everything a little bit cheaper, you know, get the factory efficiency and that down a bit, so it's all a lot cheaper for me to purchase upgrades further down the line. And you know, we done that for the chassis, we done it for the powertrain, and we went ahead and we done it also for the aerodynamics, which, to be honest, aero has got the most parts to upgrade. It's a good place to, good place to start. But with the Renault engine, we may need some good power. We need some power. Unfortunately, not enough to buy the durability upgrade, so we gotta do some more of the practice programs. Fuel saving right now in FP2, unable to get purple, but we managed to get green, which was good enough. So we went from there into the qualifying run, and as you can see, coming out of the last corner again on the curves, a little bit wayward, and now the back end stepping out, and we just managed to get the green target for there. And then it was just the race pace, which was, you know, easy enough. Now, you know, just bang the laps in, consistency paid off, and you know, we got purple over there. That was an FP3, by the way. So we have a look at our resource points we've collected. Over 400 now. We're looking pretty decent. And now Emma is going to introduce us to our rival.
Hey, looks like you've got a bit of rivalry going on out there. This is good. Gets people talking about you. Just make sure you outperform them, okay?
Thank you very much, Emma. So we got the introduction to the driver rivalry, which of course for us will be Nico Hulkenberg. So let's have a look at our session objectives for qualifying.
Hi, just letting you know that we've had the team's expectations through for the upcoming qualifying session.
So our qualifying goals is to finish P11, just outside the top 10, beating our teammate Nico Hulkenberg in qualifying. And it's gotta be said, he's been faster than me all weekend. So let's dive into qualifying and see what we can do.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly. And I'm here, of course, with Anthony Davidson on what has turned out to be a very pleasant day indeed. No weather to interfere, no problems on the track, so absolutely no room for error.
That's right, Crofty. It's looking good out there at the moment. Each team will have their own game plan for this session, and of course, once the cars leave the garage, they'll be under parc fermé conditions, so any last-minute adjustments need to be done right here and now. Beyond that, it's all up to the driver. Who can keep their tyres in the right temperature, who can hit their apexes. No race fuel on board these days, of course. These are the fastest cars we've had in a long, long time, and it's right here in qualifying where they're at their absolute peak. Let's get started.
Okay, so here we are, we're heading into our first qualifying session of this revival of the F1 2017 career mode with the Renault team. We head into Q1 right now. We did set a couple of laps there. They were a little bit scruffy. I knew I could gain quite a bit of time. So we're going to cross the line right now. It's a 125.8, which is good enough to get us into P9 and through to qualifying round 2. A couple of tenths off Nico Hulkenberg, but he's been quicker than me all weekend. And as you can see in the Q2 session, we had to set 3 flying laps again, but we were 2 tenths up at this point, so I was feeling pretty decent. I was thinking we could get the jump on Esteban Ocon, who's up in P12, and hopefully meet our target. You know, we come around the final corners, around the final corner, opening DRS, making sure we got the best exit coming out of there, and we're gonna cross the line. And unfortunately, even though it was an improvement, we're still going to be in P13. I do believe a couple of cars went quicker behind us, and as you can see, Carlos Sainz pipped us as well, but he's got a grid penalty. Nico Hulkenberg absolutely smashed me in qualifying. I mean, look at that, half a second. I pretty much Jolly and Palmered it. I mean, that's ridiculous. Half a second. Nico, slow down. But as we know, my pace is better in the race, so let's dive right on in.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Ricciardo, Kimi Raikkonen and Perez, Hulkenberg, Massa, Magnussen and Roman Grosjean, Renault, Ocon, Max Verstappen and Stroll, Alonso, Sainz, Daniel Kvyat and Stoffel van Dorn, Wehrlein and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So with Max Verstappen getting a 10-place grid penalty, we have been able to move up to P11. We're just going through our setup right now, you know, just seeing what we can do in the race. We decided to chuck a little bit of extra fuel for some rich mix. We're going to do the one stop, so let's get into it right now. 2, 5 red lights, and they are out, and it's a pretty mediocre start for me, but Hulkenberg's bogged down something fierce. Felipe Massa's passed him. Magnussen's going down the inside into turn 1. On the outside of turn 2, Roman Grosjean got a bit of a run on him, so maybe this could be a bit of a scrap by here as they go 3 wide into turn 3, and Hulkenberg's going to be squeezed out on the outside. We nip it down the inside, so Hulkenberg has lost a place to Massa off the line. He's lost places to both of the Haas's, and he's now behind me as we get right up the gearbox of K-Mag. You know, we're going to nip it down the inside right now. You know, K-Mag, suck my balls, go to the back. So we nip it down. We are up into P9. Myself and Grosjean on the, well, Grosjean's on the super sauce, I'm on the sauce. You know, we're kind of doing a reverse strategy right now. Free choice of tyre compound. We got this, but we're going to carry on right now as we move on to lap 2, as we are trying to close up the Grosjean, and we got Hamilton going deep and coming back onto the track. He must have had a lock-up. He's going side by side with Roman Grosjean right now, as we just see Felipe Massa in the distance, and he's going side by side with Grosjean. Hamilton able to get it, and unfortunately he didn't slow down Grosjean enough for me to maybe try a lunge up the inside, but we're going to stick behind them and see what we can do later on in the race. And as we go on to lap number 3, we can see Hamilton making a move on Felipe Massa in the distance. That's going to slow Massa down, and Grosjean's got a run on him as well as Hamilton. He's going to pull ahead as Grosjean, he's going to the inside of Felipe Massa. We're going to stick behind for the time being just to see what happens. I don't want to lose any part of my front nose by diving one in there. Grosjean able to mug Felipe Massa off, and we get a hell of a run on Massa, so we're going to nip it deep into the inside, slowing down the car, just making sure we have the speed to take us on the apex, and we nip it past Felipe Massa. And that was a very, I felt that was a good move. You know, I was quite happy with that. Lap 6, you know, we got a couple of the super ultra soft runners now. coming into the pits. It was, you know, the next couple of laps now, they were quite bog standard now. Grosjean started to pull away. Massa was dropping back. As you can see, Max Verstappen now making his way up through the field into P8. Yep, P8. Max Verstappen, as we got Marcus Ericsson, who is now out of this race on lap 7. So let's see what happened to the Sauber driver as he comes around the final corner. Is it going to be an engine blowout? No, it looks like it's more of a mechanical failure. No smoke whatsoever. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton coming out of the pits, but there, that could have been a little bit dangerous if he was a little bit further up the road. But we're going to move back on as we got Kimi Räikkönen right behind us on lap 9. All the ultra soft runners have come into the pits. I'm up into P3 right now as we go through the sweeping right and left, and we have lost it on the exit, and Räikkönen's just mugged us off. He's just blown straight past us as we got DRS disabled, Fernando Alonso out the race, and a safety car right now. It's absolute scenes by here. Absolute scenes. So I'm going to take this opportunity right now to dive into the pits. I don't want to be restarting from the safety car on one soft tyres. I'd rather, you know, convert the strategy right now. So we're going to mix it up now, jump on the super soft tyres. Hopefully Renault can do the business in the pit stop and we don't lose too much time, as I believe that's Roman Grosjean coming out of the pits, but they're just ahead of us. So we're going to chuck on the super sauce, a little bit slow on releasing the clutch to get out of the pit box, but it's all good. It's all good. We're going to come out behind Felipe Massa, who we was fighting earlier in the race, so we haven't lost too much time, and he is on the ultra soft tyres. But let's find out what happened to Fernando Alonso, as he is right behind the Toro Rosso of, I believe, I want to say that's a it's a mechanical failure for Fernando Alonso. So I'm sorry, how many mechanical failures have we seen in the first 10 laps by here? That is two mechanical failures. Now, as we are prepared to get ready from the safety car is coming in, I did try to maybe get alongside Felipe Massa at the back out of it. It wasn't green yet, and we ended up losing a little bit of time on Massa for the restart. K-Mag right behind us, so at least we haven't lost the position to K-Mag as Massa goes for a move on Pascal Wehrlein in the Sauber, who is still on the soft tyres from the get-go, and Massa is just gonna power straight past him. You know, the Mercedes engine in our Williams is a beast, and as we send it down the inside of Pascal Wehrlein, gotta leave him the room, he's still there, but we are able to nip it up into P12, and hopefully we can get back onto the back of Felipe Massa and maybe make a move, as we got a whole gaggle of cars going slow by here. Grosjean, Perez, Massa, and I believe that is the McLaren Honda Stoffel Van Dorn holding everyone up, so we send it down the inside of Felipe. Thank you very much. Nice little cheeky move, as Van Dorn has caused this little train by here, as you see Perez getting a little bit impatient behind Grosjean. Well, we know that Mercedes engine in the Force India will give him the power to just cruise past the McLaren Honda. And as you can see right now, Grosjean able to get past Stoffel, Perez able to get past Stoffel, and can we nip it down the inside, and we go past Stoffel Van Dorn, getting up into P10. Can we maybe try something on Sergio Perez? We think better of it, we pull out of our move, and we're going to stick behind the Force India driver for the time being on lap 13. So we got two guys out of the race right now, Fernando Alonso and Marcus Ericsson, as we are now closing up the Danny Kvyat lap 15. Couple laps later, DRS open. We don't know which way he's going to go. I thought he was going to go to the inside first, then he started to move over to the outside, and then, you know, he pretty much just kind of parked it right in the middle, and we tapped the back end of him slightly, and that causes us to run off deep because I completely missed my brake zone. Bad mistake for me. But as we look now, behind me later on our lap, we got Max Verstappen on Stoffel Van Dorn by here, as he's going to slide it down the inside. which will turn into the outside of the next corner. That is us up ahead, and Van Dorn's off. Van Dorn has been sent into the wall. Let's have another look at that from Max Verstappen's point of view. Down the inside, Max is on the ultra softs. That will give him the grip. We couldn't really see too much, so let's have a look at Stoffel Van Dorn's POV, and oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. Just a little tap on the rear wheels, and that was enough to send Stoffel Van Dorn off. But as we move on to lap 16 right now, we got Verstappen trying to do a similar move on us. We are wise to it though, able to hold him off as you would expect. So we are holding position right now in P10. Verstappen on the ultra softs. He's going to be punchy. He's going to be very punchy. So we move on now to lap 17. Kimi Räikkönen has made his second pit stop. He is out ahead on the super soft tyres. He may be trying to go to the end by here, and while I was concerned about Räikkönen, Verstappen pretty much just mugged me off around the outside of turn 3 and then down the inside of turn 2, and we had a little bit of tap in between our wheels, and unfortunately that caused me to lose a little bit of my front wing. Yellow in plate right now, so I've dropped off the pace. I have really dropped off the pace enough that Nico Hülkenberg on lap 20 is going to send one around the outside. We got Daniel Ricciardo behind us in the other Red Bull. He is very punchy right now, but we're able to defend from Nico Hülkenberg on lap 20 as we're on the run now to lap 21. My tyres are starting to feel a little bit iffy, but as you can see, I have set the repair the front wing because I need the front wing back. So I'm going to dive into the pits, lap 21, and as you can see behind me, Nico Hülkenberg has followed me into the pits. He is an absolute fool, and now he's got a double stack behind me while I have my front nose changed. He is going to be there waiting ages, but Joe, that's Nico's fault. He saw me coming into the pits. He should have carried on for one more lap. So we chuck on the front wing, we get it repaired. We got ultra softs now to the end. 8 laps, we can do this. Maybe try and at least get P11, which was our target from our team. We come out in P13, just ahead of Pascal Wehrlein, who crosses the line right now behind us. And on this very lap that I came into the pits, we got the 2 Mercedes going up against the 2 Ferraris. So we got Valtteri Bottas right now against Sebastian Vettel with Lewis Hamilton behind the both of them, and Kimi Räikkönen up ahead as Bottas sends it around the outside, and he's going to nip it down the inside, and Bottas has got him up into P2 in this race. Valtteri Bottas is on a charge, and maybe that's opened things up for Hamilton as well. Hamilton tries it around the outside, but no, Sebastian Vettel able to cover him off. But look at the gap that Bottas has already made to the Ferrari driver. Absolutely insane. So we got Bottas up into P2 as now we move on to the next lap, and Bottas he's gonna go for the lead of the race. He is down the inside of his fellow Finn. Kimi Räikkönen versus Valtteri Bottas. It is a battle for the Finns right now. Mercedes versus Ferrari, and Valtteri Bottas has managed to completely mug Kimi Räikkönen off. He has just mugged off his fellow compatriot, and we gotta stick with him for a second just to see if Kimi can make any move back, and no, and it looks like Hamilton's dove into the pits behind him as well. So we got Bottas in first, Räikkönen second, and Vettel in third as we move on lap 26, and Daniel Ricciardo is out of the race. And to be honest, right, for me, basically we were just extending the gap against Wehrlein, but even though we were closing in, I couldn't see us closing in fast enough on the guys up ahead. But we're going to find out now what's up with Daniel Ricciardo. As you can see, we go into turn 2. There he is on our right on lap 27. To be honest, we've had a fair few retirements in this race so far. He is the 4th man to be retired, so let's find out what happened. I believe that is Lewis Hamilton right ahead of him, so this must be the battle for P4 right now. He got DRS open, and it does look like he's dropping off the pace slightly, you know. He should be closing up, but it might just, yeah, it's another mechanical failure. Daniel Ricciardo parks it up on the exit of turn 2. So we move back on lap 27 for us. We are trying our best to close down Danny Kvyat, who is in P11, which is our target from our team, and Roman Grosjean is out of this race. Jesus, we have 5 cars that haven't finished this race. 5 cars out. Roman Grosjean, what has happened to him? He had such a good start and he's been consistently in the points. There he was on our right on the pit straight. We gotta check this out, but this has gifted us P11 right now. So we got our response, we got our team target anyway. So we're gonna check out what happened to Roman Grosjean. He was running well, going to the end, soft tires. He was loving life, and yeah, it looks like another mechanical failure, unfortunately, for the Haas driver. So we've had 4 mechanical failures. But as we move on now to the end of the race, this is Valtteri Bottas coming around the final corner with his fellow compatriot Kimi Räikkönen behind him. It's a finish 1-2, but it's a Mercedes win to kick off this season. And now as we come around, we've got P11. Hulkenberg has managed to get past Pascal Wehrlein. Unfortunately for him, his race was done over because he had a double stack behind me. He could have given me a challenge if he went on another lap, but we've got P11. That was the team objective, so I'm happy with that.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix.
So, at the end of the first race here in the 2017 revival of the F1 career mode, Valtteri Bottas takes the win, 25 points. Absolutely insane. He pushed like mad at the end of the race, as you saw, taking over both Vettel and Raikkonen in the dying stages. But can I just point out how many DNFs that we had, how many retirements we had? 5. That is a quarter of the grid straight away out in the first race. Absolute madness. The driver standings, obviously, they finish exactly the same as the race results. Constructors, Mercedes leading the way by 4 points to Ferrari. Force India on 12. 4 points right now for Red Bull Racing. They'll see that as an opportunity missed. So we're going to go on right now, just check how many points we can get. We have 101. I should point out that I did get the durability upgrade for the General Rare, so that will be coming in for the next episode, thankfully. So yeah, we're looking pretty good right now. So we got the rivalry right here, and we are drawing right now with Nico Hulkenberg. We were able to claw some points back in the race, so we're looking good. In the team's mind, able to get 11th, able to beat Nico Hulkenberg. We're looking great, as Emma is looking like she's going to come over here and, tell me something, Emma. Who is this man you were with? Let's have a look as we go through the career score. Yep, it's all good. Come on, Emma.
Is this the one? Indeed it is. And this is Jonathan. He's going to let you drive some of his cars.
Well, not quite my cars, per se, but a mere detail. I'd really rather be down there racing them myself, to be honest. I'm actually quite handy behind the wheel, but it's the downforce, those lateral G's, The old neck can't really handle it. So I need a pro. That's where you come in. We run in a bunch of events throughout the year. Time trials, races, all sorts. And I have it on good authority that you have the ability and temperament to do well in these. Make our business look good, and most importantly, bring the cars back in one piece. So consider this a formal invitation. I'll see you at the track.
Now, I'd just like to step into my
Okay, so Emma has just introduced us to Jonathan, who is the host of the Classic Cars Invitational events, where we get to drive classic cars from the likes of Mika Hakkinen, Fernando Alonso, Kimi Räikkönen, Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna from back in the day. I believe we also got Mansell's car, I believe. Anyway, so basically, because I've already done those two challenges before, I thought, why would I do it? Why would I do it again? But then it said, when I tried to back out of it, it said it will affect the progression of the R&D, and then I was like, okay, I can't suffer the career mode because I've already done it. I'm gonna do it again. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the pursuit around Japan short circuit at Suzuka, and yeah, I'm gonna be doing it in the 2006 Fernando Alonso F1 Renault car, which the 2006 car, the 2006 season was the first ever season I watched, as we go to 5 red lights and we are underway around Suzuka. Yeah, but the 2006 season was the first full season in Formula 1 that I ever watched. Michael Schumacher versus Fernando Alonso, Ferrari versus Renault, and obviously Renault won, and Schumacher retired. But we're just gonna watch this right now. So I just want you guys to listen to the engine a sec. Listen to how beautiful this engine sounds. Yo, 20,000 RPM right there as we come around on the lap 2. We're right on the back of 4th place, and we're just gonna size up the move straight away down the inside. Lovely stuff. There we go. We're past Michael Ski. Great name, but great name. All the best people in the world are called Michael. I should know. My name's Michael. Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, so towards the end of the lap, we start closing up to 3rd place, who is right behind 2nd. The question is, can we get past these 2 guys and get onto the back of 1st place before the end of the lap? I'm not sure, but we're gonna have a little look as we bolt down into the 1st corner. Yep, we are right on the back of them. We're gonna send a move down the inside like we done on Michael Ski. I'm not even gonna attempt that name, mate, so don't even try it, but we're just gonna swoop it around the outside of him and, oh pardon me, see if we can get on the back of 1st place. And yep, we are basically gonna nip it down the inside of the final corner. Absolutely fantastic. 1st invitational, bang, done, W. Thank you very much, and this is where I am gonna end the video. So if you enjoyed the revival of the F1 2017 career mode, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe for more content coming up.